What's
So
one thing you would change about the film?
I would, and I think I've said this about many of the films we've watched, is I would cut it down 20 minutes. I would cut the movie down 20 minutes. But it would have to be, I can't think of a long stretch that I would chop heavily. So I would probably have to go and trim small pieces throughout. I think some of the scenes where Tom Cruise's character and Penelope Cruz's character, when they're kind of
David and
flirting,
Sophia.
yeah, yeah, when they're kind of flirting with each other, and then they start drawing one another. Now I
Hmm.
know it wanted it to really connect the characters, but I think they could have trimmed it maybe a minute or two off of that, and do a few little trims throughout. I don't know if I can think of any. I don't know if I would think if I can think of any other where I could trim it long, but I would just go through and have to trim, part of it because there's a lot of good, I think the movie plays better if you look at it. There's some really cool scenes and really good acting. It's an interesting story. I haven't seen the original, but I don't think it's pieced together as well as it should be.
Hmm.
And I'll get into more of that in another question as well.
I felt it was a little long. Well, no, I actually felt it was very long. I think that, like you said, there was a lot of just little fat deposits throughout the film that needed to be trimmed out.
Yeah.
But the thing that got me the most was, and all right, I've only seen it once, and typically I like to go back. I only rented it, so maybe I'll have to go back and do it tonight. But I, I hold on, let me see if. Okay, I just don't want to jump questions. The Dream Company. What was the name of the Dream Company? Do you remember?
Um,
The
Life extension. Is that what it is? Life extension?
shoot.
Ellie?
Okay. Well, whatever the Dream Company was.
Yeah, I think life extension.
Yeah, the Lucid Dream Life Extension. Okay. That isn't even introduced until the third act. So I just felt like that needed to be introduced way earlier in the
Actually,
film.
actually, him and her.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I should say now, but him and her early on their date, they're watching TV, and there's a dog named Benny the dog, and Benny the
Yeah.
dog had been in that life extension.
But do they discuss it? Uh,
It's just on. It's only, and I noticed that it's only there briefly, maybe a minute at most. And I think they say something, but it's not really discussed. But it's
the dog is okay, so the dog is memorable because that was the only connection that I had. But even then, I didn't pull out of that commercial that this was a I thought it was just a dog that had like frozen or something because
right.
I was trying to pay attention to the other stories. These little pieces were coming in. But there's no, like, even the British guy who is the tech support guy
Yeah.
doesn't show up until the very end of the film either. I would have loved to have seen traces of him earlier
He doesn't
on.
show up until what? He's sitting in that diner and everyone's just frozen. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like you withheld too much information. You gave me
He's
one
yeah,
tiny
he's like
piece of
the
information.
very last act of the movie. That guy.
Yeah, yeah. So I felt like there weren't enough clues. Which I'll say this: this it kind of reminds me of a Christopher Nolan movie, which is an obvious reference. But Nolan, no. I'm gonna say it was like a. Have you seen the Hateful Eight,
Yeah, yeah,
Tarantino?
yeah.
That movie makes me upset because they don't give you information until the end. So it's not. So there's twists in the movie, but if you go back and rewatch the movie, you're like, well, there's no way I could have seen the twist coming because there was no
It's
signs. And
just
I'm
not.
like,
Yeah, there. Yeah.
I don't like those kind of films. I want to be able to go back and say, oh, missed that piece, missed that piece, missed that piece.
Here it
All I
is.
missed with that was the dog.
Kind of like the Sixth Sense, how you can go back and piece it
Exactly.
together.
I love those types of films. So I felt a little shortchanged
Right.
when it comes to that. I feel like I'm letting you down because
No, no, not at all. Not at all.